What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Murda Jam. We are locked in. This is episode 7 of P Valley, and we've been waiting and waiting, and it's here and it's time. We got two big subjects. Young Terrica is pregnant. Big T killed himself. Little Murda ran back over to Clifford's house, and Terrica, she done ran over to Mercedes' house, and we got to figure out what she gonna do and what the heck there's Little Murda and Uncle Clifford gonna do. But before we jump into this and break this down, if you like P Valley content, you like live after show discussions, make sure you tune in Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. You like breakdowns throughout the week, then hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, make sure you hit that like button. Also, follow me on Instagram, MOEDOTJ. Now, we're gonna jump into this episode because we've been waiting 2 weeks and we don't need to hear me talking. So let's jump into it. This is episode 7 of P Valley. Before we even get anywhere, it is Ernestine. But the way I talk, I say Ernestine. I don't say the extra N, but y'all know who I was talking about. But we get a flashback to grandmother Ernestine, and she used to be singing. Now, this is in the Pink. Before it was the Pink, and it was the juke joint. You know what I'm saying? She's in here singing. You got people out there pop locking and stuff. The good old days. You know how it is. And we even see a baby Clifford running around. Baby Uncle Clifford and Uncle Clifford's mother. And we see Miss Ernestine singing throughout different decades. And we see that there's pimping going on in here. At first it was a couple of dollars. Now you seeing stacks being handed over. But this is what was going down at the juke joint. Man, this looks like a time to be alive, people. But then we fast forward to the present day. All the good times are behind us. And you know the saying, good things don't last forever. Now, in the present day, we see Ernestine up there. And when she opens her eyes, she sees her daughter, Uncle Clifford's mom. Now, she's passed and she's like, come on, mom, relax, take a drink. Basically saying, go ahead, cross over. Now, there are people that say you see things like this, a family member, you say they see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's all kinds of different things. But in Ernestine's case, it's her daughter offering her a drink. But she's like, nah, I can't go right now. She's fighting it. Now I'm looking at that drink and I agree with grandmother Ernestine. First of all, that drink ain't even all the way to the brim. I'm not trying to drink that. Not right now, girl. We gonna make it through the night. Now we seen a little bit of the history. Now we see Uncle Clifford in here, and she's in here walking around the pole and basically reminiscing because all the history here. Grandmother Ernestine is sick. We know that Hailey is actively out there trying to sell the Pink, but this is family history here. And that's what Uncle Clifford is trying to tell Hailey or Autumn or Lakeisha Savage, whoever she is this episode. That's who Uncle Clifford is talking to. And she's basically saying, this is about you. Now you trying to sell that Pink? But my great granddaddy got shot over card games over there. My other grandpa used to drink that drink over here. Now that all sounds good. Yeah, that history and family sounds good, but money talks. Because when Hailey said 5 million, you hear Uncle Clifford talking about, whoa, wait, 5 million? Hailey's like, nah, I want 10 M's for it. But you see all that family and tradition and all that sentimental value went out the door when that good offer came. Now, Hailey talking that business because Uncle Clifford want to talk boss to boss. Well, you ain't a boss. Like, Hailey's a boss. Hailey's the boss of all bosses. You just the underboss. But she's like, listen and look at everything that's happening. Grandma Ernestine, she's sick and you've been in close contact. 6 feet. 6 feet. Don't talk to me about business. 6 feet, you. And I have to agree with Hailey in this situation. Hailey's like, nah, it's about this club. Yeah, it might not be about your ancestors, but my blood, sweat, and tears went into buying this place back. So whatever we do moving forward, then we just got to go with that. And I agree with Hailey because she's the one that put up the money and she owns the place. Back at Mercedes' house, we know Terrica showed up at the end of the last episode and told her mom that she was pregnant. So she's been here for 3 days and she's on the phone with Shell saying, let me go ahead and keep Terrica, until you get back up on your feet. It's already been 2 days. Shell's like, it's only been 2 days. And then Mercedes is thinking about, no, it's been 3 days. Matter of fact, look, I'm going to go ahead and keep Terrica here. And I'm thinking that's the best decision right now because Mercedes isn't working at the Pink right now. She isn't doing tricks for 10 bands every weekend because she got fired from that. So at least she'll be here with her daughter that is pregnant. We see young Terrica, and it looks like she's showing. So this is at least a month or 2 months, man, maybe going into 3 months. But we seeing her, and she's showing. The belly's showing a little bit. Now, when Mercedes comes in there, she wants to know what exactly are we about to be doing. Now, Terrica's, she's a kid still. You got to remember that. She's thinking, oh, well, I already did my little book report, my essay on that. Mercedes is like, no, about that baby. And she's having those cravings. She's pregnant. She wants to get some food. Talking about she wants some ice cream with some hot sauce on top of it. No. So they talking about going to TCBY now. If you never had that, it's the country's best yogurt. It's actually pretty straight. You go in there, you get yogurt, and you can put sprinkles, peanuts, everything you want on there. But Mercedes is like, all right, let's go do that because you are pregnant. We know little Murda's been over here. You just seen your best friend, your undercover lover, your hood fairy tale take his own life. And now you on the couch. You just thinking, you having flashbacks. So you know how that is, you know what I'm saying? He waking up sweating, and all he hears is coughing upstairs, and it sounds like grandmother Ernestine is in need of some help. Now, this is the exclusive clip that we had earlier this week that I broke down where he's actually feeding Ernestine, and she's talking about, oh, your food smell good. Now, I'm not eating Clifford's chicken no more. I'm going to eat your food. Now, this whole conversation, we find out that little Murda, he should go by LaMarcus. You know, Ernestine said that's better to pronounce, but he's telling her, you need to put in a good word with me for Clifford at least. And she's like, look, as long as you're around here, you'll be all right. I got you. Just continue to do your thing. Grandma in the bed, and she's telling LaMarcus, look, I smell death. And he's listening like, what do you mean? And she's talking about the night he came over. You remember, he came over with blood all over him from Big Teak. So she was like, I smell death on you. Hey, when you get older, you start smelling all kinds of things. Miss Keyshawn. Now, we know she didn't exit the house last episode like we wanted her to, and she's back with Derrick. Now, they at the grocery store, and she got the face covered up. She talking about, I gotta go get some more makeup. Derrick's talking about, let's go do something with the kids. No, Derrick, let's not. What happened to them jobs that were calling you white boy, Derrick? Did any of them call you back? I don't think so. But they're in the grocery store, and she's talking about, well, let me go get some makeup. White boy Derrick is saying, all right, well, just meet us up at the register. We know we haven't seen Keyshawn since she left the strip club. Well, as far as the employees, Hailey, Uncle Clifford and them, we haven't seen her. So when they're in the grocery store, Hailey sees her in here, and she actually goes up and talks to her. And she's basically telling her, look, there are other ways to get up out that house. I see you didn't use my gun, because you remember she got the gun out of the ventilation shaft. She also got that from Hailey, but she didn't use it. That's not who she is. And I won't say she's coming up with excuses, but she's saying, I can't leave because I got the kids. But Hailey is here to help her. And then in the background, you hear white boy Derrick, Keyshawn, let's go. Like, damn, I'm having a conversation back here. Uncle Clifford gets back home. He's rushing upstairs because he thinking somebody done broke into the house, just to find out that our boy LaMarcus has done everything on the checklist. Blood sugar, temperature, everything, even fed her. She's back to sleep, and he just sitting here chilling. Uncle Clifford is like, whew, I thought the Chuckalisa Strangler got a hold of y'all. Chuckalisa Strangler? These two, they go down in the kitchen because, you know, hey, LaMarcus was in the kitchen seasoning the chicken. Well, they made pork chops and some yams and some greens, but you know what I'm talking about. They come down here. He making the plate for Clifford. Clifford talking about, that's because Uncle Clifford ain't ate like that in a while. Uncle Clifford food is not edible. But they start talking about Uncle Clifford's business endeavors, the club being sold for $5 million. That means with the percentage that Uncle Clifford owns, that'd be 1.65. So it's like little Murda, he good with numbers in his head, I see. But then Clifford calls out little Murda because we heard you crying on that couch last night. When I say we, I'm talking about Uncle Clifford and Grandma, not me. I wasn't at that house. I stayed at my own place. But he's like, oh, you ain't hear nothing like that. And he gets up because he still wants to keep that tough guy image. So Uncle Clifford, she knows that something is wrong. And she's just like, look, I know you'll be staying another night or two. I'm going to go get you some clothes. Mercedes and Terrica, they hop in the whip to go get some TCBY, well, at least they thought, and they start having a conversation about sex. But we know that these two, they don't have a mother-daughter relationship. It's more of a friendship, and I haven't seen my friend in a while. So they start talking about sex, and she's saying, oh, now you want to talk to me about it. But the only thing Mercedes told her was keep your legs closed, because these nappy-headed boys only want one thing. Now, if they were to change it up and to be two guys and say these nappy-headed girls only want one thing, then it'd be an outrage. But that's neither here or there. Obviously, Terrica didn't pay no attention to that because we wouldn't be in this situation. The back and forth continues. Mercedes is asking her, you let me know when that 72 hours is so we can talk about that plan B. But then she was like, do you even know when you were pregnant? No, you don't, because you don't even know your cycle. And when she looks out the window, she sees TCBY. She's like, Sadie's, where we going? She's talking about Jackson. Jackson? That's like an hour and a half away. Terrica got that sickness. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She talking about pull over. Mercedes said, no, we headed to Jackson. She's speeding too. But she had to throw up. She had to pull over. Now, if I worked at the gas station, I'd be like, ma'am, could you throw up in the grass, please? Like, come on, that's pavement. But Terrica is saying that somebody's mother's cousin told her that if she was to terminate her pregnancy, she would get cancer from it. Mercedes is like, cancer? Whoever said that, they dumb. They ain't got no brain cells. It's just like everything that be going on with all these vaccines and stuff. People just come up with the most outlandish stuff. They don't know nothing about nothing. And that's another thing that was going on here. Now, Terrica thinks that her mom ambushed her. But Mercedes is doing what she thinks is best and at least getting a consultation just so she can know her options if she was going to keep it or terminate that pregnancy. Now, she didn't get this opportunity when it came to Mama Benz, Miss Patrice. So she at least wants to do this for her daughter and give her an opportunity to know what's really going on. Back at Grandma's house, Uncle Clifford went upstairs to look for some clothes, and we were all thinking the same thing. Little Murda can't fit Uncle Clifford's clothes, but Uncle Clifford's up doing what she gotta do, and Little Murda finds his phone. And then you start seeing all these tweets and texts. Instagram, Tina Snow tagged you in the post. Tina hurt you. You didn't tell me. Ha ha ha. 32,000 others commented on a video. Hey, we done went viral overnight. Wody calls him and he's letting them know, hey, bro, where you been, man? I've been calling you. All the venues, they want to rebook you. The Dirty Dozen tour is cracking, bro. We about to get back on the road. You know what I'm saying? You blowing up out here. Now, Little Murda's hearing this, but you got to remember, he was supposed to bring Big T back on the road with him against Wody's will because that was his dog. That was going to be security. That was his blessing for him getting out of prison and holding him down. But Wody had to fire him, and now no one has to fire him. But we got to get back on this road, and Little Murda got to cut it short because where is he at? He's with Uncle Clifford. Just what I was saying. When Little Murda goes up there, Uncle Clifford and opened up this big ass case. Got this big ass Sean John shirt in there. I'm talking about that thing about 4X. Uncle Clifford, what, 40? So what, a couple years older than me? Yeah, they wearing them big 3, 4X. Uncle Clifford already big. Uncle Clifford had to wear a 5, 6X, no cap. But Little Murda over here clowning about that. And then she talking about, okay, Cisco. He's like, Cisco? But he was just joking around. We all know who Cisco is. It's the dragon. We seen a glimpse of baby Clifford. So Little Murda sees a Gucci bag and was like, dang, you got this old bag? Uncle Clifford like, that was my first purse. So now it has LaMarcus asking, have you always been like this? You know, feminine? And Uncle Clifford like, yeah, that's who I am. And if anybody said anything about me and my purse, my mom will whoop on them. But what's going on here is Clifford is basically saying, now, who are you, Little Murda? And Little Murda says, I'm who the world won't let me be. Now, you could be who you want to be, but if you think that your image is going to be stained because of who you are, that's on you. It's not on the world. That's on you, brother. Uncle Clifford walk around here, everybody, oh, what up, Uncle Cliff? Like, if I see Uncle Clifford, shit, what up? Uncle Clifford run the pink. Don't nobody care. No one cares. So now that's got Little Murda thinking, and he sees his postcards that he's been sending back to Uncle Clifford. Now you remember Keyshawn actually helped him write one. And he asks Uncle Clifford, since you saved all of them, which one of these are your favorite? And it's the one where little Murda, with the help of Keyshawn, said, you look beautiful in red. And little Murda's thinking like, damn, Keyshawn was right. Now little Murda's really in the deep thought. And Uncle Clifford says, I understand why you did what you did during murder night. And little Murda said, I did that because those people were like me, but they could pass. And Uncle Clifford tells him, there ain't no passing with me. I am what I am. Mercedes, baby Benz, and mini Benz, well, they stopped so she could use the restroom. And Mercedes is looking through a window, and there's a mom yelling at her daughter. And that's got her thinking about when she was younger and Mama Benz, aka Miss Patrice, used to yell at her. We get a flashback and we see young Mama Benz, Miss Patrice, and we see young Mercedes. Now, they ain't got no money. Last time we seen Patrice in the flashback, she was working at the diner when we seen white boy Derrick and Keyshawn on their first date. Now, there's a gentleman in the back. This is just disgusting because she looks at Mercedes and says, you need to go do your thing. And Mercedes is like, no, I'm not doing nothing like that. I got money. When she opens up her wallet, there's a condom in there. And Patrice, she loses it. She starts slapping and punching and whooping on young Mercedes. I'm like, come on, this is a horrible mom. But we all knew that Mama Benz, aka Miss Patrice, was one of the worst mothers on this show. She talking about, you're not gonna be messing with Cortez no more. Still headed to Jackson. Mercedes starts asking, who you on the phone with? And she's like, oh, Kelvin. She laughing. She like, did you tell him that you were pregnant? She was like, yeah. And he actually drew this. He's an artist. You hear Mercedes say, yeah, they all are. Nah, I'm not no artist. But Kelvin says he wants to step up. He wants to keep the kid. He's going to get a job. Kind of sounds like Jake from The Chi, doesn't it? She talking about he can get a job at like Crystal's, which is a fast food place. And Mercedes is trying to explain how much diapers and everything works. Now, Terica, this is where she goes a little bit off rail. And she says, I'm in love anyway, but you don't know nothing about love because all you do is dance for the guys at the strip club. And you just jealous about what I got. Mercedes takes her eyes off the road, slaps her. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Terica said, when I have a daughter, I'm not going to slap her. I'm not going to be like that. And Mercedes, up under her breath, says, I thought the same thing. This isn't a mother-daughter relationship. I told you, this is more of like friends that ain't seen each other in a while. When they pull up to the clinic for the consultation, we have all the pro-lifers out there with signs saying termination of pregnancy is murder. Y'all know how they are. They all out there. And Mercedes, she makes a valid point. All those pro-lifers are pro-lifers until the babies are born. And then we just become niggas. And when she gets there, she tells Terica, this is all your decision. Go in there. But when she looks in the crowd, who does she see? Mama Benz, Miss Patrice. Now, when they go in there to get the ultrasound, we see the little baby in there. We're like, okay. Mercedes was like, let's get to the point. How far along is she? She said 14 weeks. Now, I'm not that good at math, but 4 weeks is a month. 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. So that's 3.5 months pregnant. Now she's saying you got to make this decision pretty quickly. Now you got to wait 24 hours per the state regulation or state mandate to decide if you're going to keep it or terminate the pregnancy. But at 14 weeks, you're cutting it close. While Uncle Clifford and little Murda were up there having a heart-to-heart, Grandma, she done left out the damn house. She done walked down to the water. Wade in the water. Yeah, she told me, I gotta get in the water. They had to stop her though. They had to stop her. At this point, she's so old and her having that vid. Hey, you really gotta keep your eye on her because you heard she said she smelled death. She also mentions her daughter in front of Uncle Clifford, saying she wants me to have a drink, but I can't have that drink. Because right now there's a lot of things going on in her mind, but she's trying to fight, going to the light at the end of the tunnel. She's also trying to survive out here, but her body starts to get a little cold and her fingers are blue. They gotta get grandma back to the house. Since we got 24 hours, let's go sit out by the pool. And now they're starting to have the conversation they should have had at the house and they should have had years ago. But that's neither here or there. We got to talk about the situation right now. And she's like, look, if I had the kid, because there's some kids over there, and there was a man that walked by, and Mercedes talking about, keep walking, R. Kelly. I'm like, I wasn't looking at your daughter. I was looking at you. I know what your price is. You 10 bands, but right now you down bad, so I can give you 100. What's happening? But that's neither here or there either. And Terrica is saying, look, I can just drop the baby off with my grandma. And y'all know how I feel about that. Stop dropping y'all kids off with y'all parents. Them are your kids. Your grandparents, your parents ain't supposed to be watching your kids. That's your job. You had those kids. And Mercedes is like, stop calling Patrice grandma. She's like, no, mom, you would be the grandma and you could be there for everything you missed with me. As soon as they get back to the house, they call the ambulance. They come, they pick up grandma. Uncle Clifford's like, they gonna make sure you're all right. Her oxygen level starts to drop to 85%. This gentleman's like, sir, we gotta go. And then you see little Murda step up and say, it's ma'am. But he's like, hey, you gotta let them go because this is what's best for grandma right now. We can't do anything for her sitting in front of the house. The Mercedes-Benz factory is at a motel because, hey, we gotta decide 24 hours. We gotta figure out what we're doing. Derrick is talking about, I need to go buy some new pants because I can't fit these no more. They're a little tight. Mercedes hop up, talk about, girl, you're pregnant. But now we're really about to get things off our chest because Derrick is telling her, you're not in a position to tell me I'm not prepared to be a mom. You weren't even around to be my mom, so you can't tell me that. And they're going at it again. And we already can expect this because there's hormones running through Terrica. Mercedes is trying to figure out everything. She just blew a $40,000 bag. Her daughter is pregnant. Her daughter is talking back, but that's just what goes on during pregnancies. Your emotions are high. And Terrica is expecting her mother to comfort her, actually talk to her, help her through this, give her some decisions. So she runs into the bathroom because she's not trying to hear what Mercedes is talking about. And Mercedes looks in the mirror and who does she see? Mama Benz, Miss Patrice. This is symbolizing she's turning into her mother. She's doing the same thing her mom did to Terrica. And now she tells Terrica exactly what was going on. Now, Terrica's saying, I'm going to be a better mom than you, a better mom than Shell. I'm not going to forget my kids. I'm not going to say that they were a mistake now. And Shell's defense, you aren't Shell's kid. Shell took you in. I mean, but that's a whole nother topic. And Mercedes is saying, I considered it, but I didn't act on it. And plus, Mama Benz, Miss Patrice, didn't give her an option. She made her have Terrica. Now, Terrica, she heard that, and Mercedes is trying. I give Mercedes credit for this. She is trying. Uncle Clifford in the shower, she crying because grandma in the hospital, and you might lose the last person you got in your family. But when Uncle Clifford gets out, we got Cisco, my bad. Lil Murda, my bad. LaMarcus out here playing that let me see that thong, baby, that thong, da dong dong dong. When that Cisco thong song come on, it don't matter who you are, gay, straight, gangster, schoolboy, it don't matter. When that thong song comes on, you know the words of that song, that they having a good old time, but they end up in bed. Now Uncle Clifford crying, and these two, they already got that thing and they back in the house together, and y'all know what happened after this. One thing led to another. The next morning, you remember Terrica asked could she drive. Mercedes gives her the keys and said we can either go to Jackson or we can go to Chucalissa, but the decision is up to you. So one thing that Mama Benz didn't do was give her an opportunity to make a decision for herself. So now, Terrica, it's up to you. You want to keep it? You want to take care of it? We riding with you. And while they're riding, Terrica makes the decision to head back towards Jackson. That's what she thinks is best for her. Well, we see that they got some TCBY when they headed back. And they on the couch, they watch some stuff. Now, Mercedes is only 30 years old. I thought she was a little bit older, but 30, okay. Now, they sitting in there. And guess who comes on the TV? Patrice Woodbine running for mayor. Yeah. Now Terica's hearing all of this, and Mercedes tells her she ain't got no power. The only power she got is the power you let her have. Basically, tune out everything that Patrice is telling you, because now she's thinking back of how bad she was treated by her mom, and she's want to do better for her daughter. Back at Keyshawn's house, Hailey shows up. Now, you heard Derrick say we can go down to the outlets, you can get them little Prada booties, and Keyshawn said nah, the baby just grow out of them. So Hailey shows up with a Prada bag because she wants to talk to Keyshawn after what she's seen in the grocery store. Now when they get in the room, baby Rico won't stop crying because she can't sleep. Hell, could you sleep in this house with white boy Derrick in there? So Hailey's like, let me hold her. Well, Autumn said that. And then she starts to tell a story talking about Hailey and how Hailey came up bad. But then Hailey had all the glitz and glamour that she could ever want, but it wasn't making her happy. And she cried a lot into a bag because somebody had some knives as teeth. And long story short, Keyshawn was like, what were you talking about? Basically, she's telling her there's other ways to get out this house. And inside that Prada bag, it wasn't no booties. It was a cell phone. She said, look up Hailey when you were ready to leave. So Hailey is trying to help her get out of this situation. There you go, episode 7 of P-Valley. First, I want to know, what do you think about Grandma Ernestine? Is she going to make it, or is it time for her to go take that drink with her daughter? And also, is Hailey going to be able to get Keyshawn up and out of this house with white boy Derrick? Let me know what you think. I'm J. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live after show discussion of P-Valley episode 7. Like I said, I'm J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.